If you're tired of swiping on apps like Tinder and Hinge and Facebook, blah, 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 and you're wondering, where can I meet more women near me in real life, in person, in the flesh, then you are in the right place, because today I am going to show you the perfect strategy to meet and connect with attractive women in person, no matter where you live. So I'm calling this strategy the prime location hack, and it comes from my good friend, who's also one of the best dating coaches in the world right now, Blaine Anderson. Blaine and I recently did a live masterclass on how to approach women. She literally laid out a blueprint, can't even speak, on how to do it. And in it, Blaine shared this amazing strategy for meeting women that any guys can use. In fact, over 4,000 of Blaine's students have applied this exact strategy to meet beautiful women, get dates, and end up with the hottest girlfriends. And there is no reason why it cannot do the same thing for you. All you have to do is watch the video, this video, understand how and why this strategy works, and then start doing it. So if that sounds good to you, let's dive in. I'm Marni, and from here on out, I am going to be your very own personal wing girl. Every week, it is my job to give you the no BS insider info about what women really want versus what they say they want, plus the most effective methods to win over any woman you like. So just hit that subscribe button now so that you never miss a video. All right, let's get started. So the core idea behind the prime location hack is this: not every location is ideal for meeting women. Some places are much easier than others. And no, I'm not talking about bars and nightclubs, so just let me elaborate. As Blaine explained in the masterclass, if you want to answer the question, where should I go to meet women? There are two factors that you need to consider. First is what she calls location, interest, specificity. Second is location stigma. And this is important, so pay attention, okay? The first factor, interest specificity, refers to how particular a location is to an interest that you may share. So in general, the higher the interest specificity, the better it is for meeting women. Why? Because much of the work you do to find commonalities with a woman is already done for you. So I'm going to share an example so that you fully understand what I'm talking about. So let's say you're someone who is really into wine. In this case, you'll find it much easier to connect with women at a wine bar than just a regular bar. You'll find it even easier at a wine tasting event that you're both at. And you'd have the most in common with a woman who, let's say, is at a mutual friend's wine tasting event. You're both into wine, you have overlapping social circles, and you probably have some shared values about wine, but just values in general. Point is, striking conversations and sparking connection becomes more natural the more interest specific the location is, because you can quickly bond over the commonality of that interest. So the next factor to look at is location stigma. So this is something most guys don't really think of. Location stigma refers to the potential cost a woman might face for having a romantic, sexually charged interaction with a guy. So is this a place where others would judge her for meeting and flirting with a guy? So for example, possibly at an event with friends and family. Or are there any reasons why she wouldn't want to meet men there? So for example, she goes there every day, like to her workplace, and so things might get a little bit awkward or complicated, and she might have a guard up. So to put this in another way, location stigma is specific to the woman's personal relationship with that environment or with an environment. So for example, a barista who works at your favorite coffee shop will probably feel differently about getting involved with you versus a cute girl from out of town who happens to be standing in line with you. So here's the most important thing about location stigma. The greater the stigma at a location, the more trust and connection is required to move things forward in a romantic connection. For instance, many people meet their partners at work. However, it takes more effort and time to build a romantic connection at places like this, because you don't want to get screwed in the long run, right? Now compare that to, say, a bachelorette party. A woman will be far more open to flirting and moving things forward with you at a bachelorette party because the stigma is low. And I hope that that drives this point home for you and I'm making sense. Now, let's combine these two factors. Let's put them on a graph, okay? So our vertical axis has high stigma, low stigma, and the horizontal axis has high interest specificity and low interest specificity. Now here's the idea to lock into your head. The prime location to meet more women The prime location where it's the easiest to connect with women naturally is right here in this bottom right quadrant of the graph. So it's high interest specificity and low stigma environments. So for example, let's say a woman is at a bachelorette party at a mezcal bar in Austin, and you're like a mezcal expert, right? You'd have so much to talk to her about, and she won't be judged for having a fun, flirty interaction with you. On the other hand, the places where it's going to be hard to meet women are in the top left quadrant of the graph. These are low interest, high stigma environments. So for example, if she's at a family reunion at a public park, it wouldn't be the best idea to approach her and start heavily flirting. And I'm sure you get it by now. I hope you get it by now. Now, here are some other examples of high interest, low stigma environments to meet women, AKA your prime locations. So you have specialty restaurants. Let's say you're a vegan at an Ethiopian restaurant and you see a cute woman. It would be easy to spark a conversation because you'd immediately have something to talk about, and it is a low stigma environment. Same goes for unique events. Let's say you're at a concert of a little known indie rock band. You can naturally spark connections with women at a place like this. Then there's things like travel. If it's in a remote location, even better, right? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like if you're both on vacation in London, that's good. And it's still a point of commonality because you both chose to go there. But if you're in a small town in the south of France or something, that's going to be even better because you've even chosen something smaller together. Because London is a hub for tourists, but a small town in France, what are the chances of that? You'll bond with each other very quickly. There's more in common and low stigma. Now, on the bottom right quadrant of this graph, we have low stigma, low specificity environments. These include places that many people visit from time to time. So think of bars or restaurants or parks or grocery stores or a local coffee shop and so on. Because the stigma is low, you can still meet women in these locations, and you should be meeting women in these locations. And you can have great interactions that turn into dates and fun experiences. However, here you need to work a little harder to spark a romantic connection with women because it's just so vast. You need to be more skilled at having fun, being flirty, and having conversations. Now, a little hack that you can use in these interactions is to strategically advertise your interests. So for example, wear clothes that highlight an interest of yours. I have a friend who used to have a t-shirt that said, "I love reading." And he used to have girls come over to talk to him because that t-shirt sparked their interest because they had that commonality as well. Usually they come over and ask what he's been reading lately or what's his favorite book and so on. Another thing you can do is carry an accessory that shows your interests or something that's really important to you. Like if you're walking around with a camera, your new puppy, a volleyball, or whatever, it will spark women's curiosity if they have that in common with you. But all in all, if you want the best possible place to meet more women right now, if you want to make it as easy as possible for you to talk to women and spark connections, you should prioritize going to locations with low stigma, high interest specificity. That is the ultimate hack for meeting women. And I can't tell you what these places are for you because they're for you, right? It's specific to you, but I'm sure you can work it out for yourself by now using this video. Now, before I wrap this up, I know you could be wondering, what if you're interested in a woman at a high stigma, high interest specificity location? Like what if you're interested in a cute barista at a coffee shop, or you have a new gym crush, or you're attracted to a coworker? Well, here's a magic ingredient for that. It's called trust. You need to build trust. You need to build connection. How? Well, trust is built with familiarity, and familiarity is built over time. This means it's best that you don't ask her out the very first time that you see her. You talk to her, you engage her, you keep it fun and playful, maybe a tad little flirty, but not too much. You show confidence by having good posture, good tonality, holding eye contact. You let time work in your favor. Don't jump the gun and ask her out, and ask every woman out, right, at that location that you go to often. So how long should you wait? Well, 3 to 4 interactions is a good rule for these types of situations. You need to make sure she feels comfortable with you. She needs to trust that things will be okay if she goes out with you, and you'll be discreet about it, and you won't blow it up in her face at the place where you both like going. Meaning she needs to trust that you'll be cool even if things do not work out. This kind of trust is not going to happen in one interaction. So you have to play the longer game. Not too long, but a longer game. So that said, now you know exactly where to meet women in real life and make it easy for yourself or easier for yourself. Now, if you'd also like to know exactly how to strike up conversations and what to say to really attract her to you so that she's excited to go out with you and even get intimate with you, then I recommend you click the link in the description below and check out my flagship program called the F Formula. The F Formula gives you a simple step-by-step breakdown of how to have fun, flirty, engaging conversations with a woman that makes her heart race and gets her tingly all over her body. And most importantly, it shows you how to flirt without being creepy or getting instantly rejected, with tons of word-for-word examples of what to say to her. There's no other program you'll find that makes flirting so simple and easy to do for a guy. What's more, over, I don't even know now, 40,000 of my students have followed this exact formula to attract and be with beautiful women of their choice. And there's no reason that it cannot do the same thing for you. So to find out everything that you should know about the F Formula, how to flirt, just click the link in the description below. I've made you a very special video where I reveal what the formula is and how it works. And of course, I want to thank you for watching this video to the very end. I hope you found it useful, and I'll see you next week.